Good morning, dear students. In this lecture, I will be starting chapter 1, fundamental concepts. It is actually the part of algebra, fundamental concepts. Fundamental concepts. Now, what is algebra? Algebra is the branch of mathematics which substitutes the symbols for numbers. Now, in this particular section of algebra, mostly you will be seeing x, y, z, a, b, c, d, p, q, r, s. Means these all are symbols which we will be substituting for another numerical values. These all symbols are called as variables, and the constant is the number like 5, 4, 6, any number whichever you say, that numbers are called as constants. And there are also another symbols whose value is fixed by the scientists. Okay, so that type of values, that types of symbols are called as constants, whereas alphabets A, Z, A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, all these are called as variables. Now, to understand this chapter, let us first go through the definitions, go through the meaning of the terms like what is variables, variables, or you say literals. Now, these are the symbols, these are the symbols whose values are not fixed. Whose values are not fixed. Variables or literals, same thing, either you say variables or you say literals. These are the symbols whose values are not fixed. For an example, if I write x, it is a variable, y, variable, z, variable, a, p, q, these all are variables, alpha, beta, gamma, all these are called as variables. Why? Because its value is not determined. In each and every question, if you go like, suppose you solve question number 1, you will get x is equal to 5. If you solve that same value, find the value of x in question number 5 or 7, then the value of x may not be equal to 5. It will be varying. That is why it is called as variable. The something that is not constant, something that is not fixed is said to be variable. Now we have another term that is called constant. These symbols, these symbols whose, these are the symbols, these are the symbols whose values are fixed. These are the symbols whose values are fixed. Now, suppose I write pi. All of you know pi is equal to 3.14, right? If I write a root under 3, its value is 1.732. So this is also a symbol. Now if I write 5, that means you already understood this is number 5. Its value, this 5 will be read everywhere and it will be treated as 5 everywhere, be it in question number 1 or in question number 10. It's not only in one question or one particular chapter or one set of books. It is everywhere. 5 will be called as 5 in India, in Jhaja, in Bhagalpur, or even in foreign countries. This 5 will be called as 5 and its value will remain same. But if I say about x, x value depends upon question to question, right? So that is the value is not fixed. So this is also a symbol. This is another symbol whose value is fixed. Though in mathematics we call this as a number as well as digit. These all are numbers. These all are numbers. So a symbol whose numbers are fixed is said to be constant. Now after this we are having certain terms like one terms. Okay. Now what is the terms? Here x is called as one term, 5 is called as another term, 7 is called as another term, x, y together is called as another term. So this is one term, this is another term, this is another term, this is another term. So all these are different terms. Their values are not fixed. Okay, they all are called as terms. That means terms can be defined as the constant. Definition ever, these all are called as terms. The constant or variables the constants or variables or together, constant and variable are called as terms. For an example, if I say 5, like here I have said 5 is a term. If I say x, x is a term. Then if I write 5x, again it is a term. Now if I say xy, this is one term, 1 and 1. So all these are called as terms. I hope it is clear. Now the terms contains a coefficient. What is the meaning of coefficient? Now here 5 is alone, so there is no coefficient. The coefficient will only be found when there are two terms. Means one term having two values, be it be a constant. Okay. Now coefficient means like here xy. There are two symbols, product multiplied together. So right. So what is the, how do we find and when do we find coefficients? When we have one term in which either one number is constant and the other number is variable, and they are product, they are multiplied, or both are variable. Now here x is called coefficient, of y. X is called as coefficient of y. Y is called as coefficient of x. Vice versa. If x is called as coefficient of y, then y will also be called as coefficient of x. Okay, x is called a coefficient of y, so y will be called as coefficient of x. Now in case of 5x, 5 is coefficient of x. 5 is coefficient of x. So x is also called as coefficient of 5. Understood? So they both are called as coefficient of each other. Now there will be, these two are called as variable. They are called variables. The number 5 is called as literal coefficients and the others are called as just simple coefficients. So when you have a number, then it will be called as literal coefficients, numerical coefficient. This is called as numerical coefficient. This is called as literal coefficients. If I have like 11x, so this will be called as numeral coefficient of x is equal to 11. We will write like this. This is called as numeral coefficient. Numeral coefficient of x is 11. If I write literal coefficient of 11 is equal to x. Now in exam there you may be asked, like they will give you certain number of terms, and then they will ask what is the literal coefficient of that particular term, what is the numerical coefficient of that particular term, right? If I say x, now they may ask what is the literal coefficient of x. So literal coefficient, what is the numerical coefficient? Numerical coefficient of x is 1 here. Why? Because 1 multiplied with x will always be equal to 1. 1 multiplied by x will be always equal to x. So that is why 1 is by default not mentioned here. When we write ABCD, here 1 is the coefficient, 1 coefficient, 1, 1. Everywhere 1 is coefficient, though we are not writing. By default, 1 is the coefficient for any symbols, any literal symbols. So the numeral coefficient of x is here 1. So keep in mind, my dear students, when we have a single variable, then the coefficient will be the number 1 itself. Now we have seen terms, coefficients. Now there are another things like unlike term and like term. So first we will study like term. Like terms. Now what are the like terms? How do we call them? Which are called like terms? Like I have x. Like I have 2. Here we have 3. Here I have again x. Here I have y. Here I have z. Here I have x. Here I have xy. Okay. Now the only constants, like this constant, free from variable. Right now there is no variable here, so these two are called as simple constants. So these two are called like terms. Okay. Now this x and this x, all these are called like terms. Now y, z and xy, these all three are called unlike terms. These all three are called unlike terms. Understood? Now I hope it is clear. Same thing, number, so like term. Constant, same x, everywhere, so like terms. Y, x, z, then y, z, x, y, these are called unlike terms. Now when we have like terms, like and unlike, I will write. When we have addition and subtraction, all the mathematical operation means addition of like terms. Now if I have x plus x, then I can write this as 2x. If I have x plus 5x, then I can write 6x. Understood? We can add these two like terms. Or if I have x minus x, 0, x minus of 5x, it will be equal to minus of 4x. Understood? Like terms we can add as well as subtract. Like terms we can add and subtract. If I have like y plus x, then this will be equal to question mark, means nothing. You cannot add these two. These two sum will remain as it is. We can never add these two terms. It will be just represented by the mathematical operation plus symbol here. If I have like x, y, z, then x, then they are asking you to add. For an example, they ask you to add. Then you will write x plus y plus z plus x. Then how you will simplify? X plus x is equal to 2x, and then y plus z will be y and z as it is, because we cannot make them single terms. We cannot compress them. We cannot make them one term here. Here they both are like terms, so I have added. Here they both are like terms, so I have added. Here these two terms were like, so I have added. These two terms will remain as it is. Now if it was like subtract, then again subtraction will be same case. Like terms will be subtracted, unlike terms will remain as it is. Now after this, if you see addition of like terms and unlike terms, subtraction also we have seen. Now the another terms are like algebraic expressions. Algebraic. What is an algebraic expression? It is the combination of variables, constants, variables or constants or both. It is the combination. It is the combination of variables or constants or variables and constants together operated by mathematical operations, mathematical symbols, or you say operations always, operators. Mathematical operators here means plus, minus, multiplication and division, multiplication operators. Now it is a combination of variables or constants or variable and constant together operated by mathematical operators. For an example here, x plus x, this is what? This is algebraic expression only. This is examples of algebraic expression. X plus x equal to 2x. They are not asking right now to add. They are just two terms. So it is like that. If they say x plus y, then this is an algebraic expression. If they say xy plus 5 plus z, this is an algebraic expression. If they write x plus 5, this is an algebraic expression, or it is also called as polynomial expression. Algebraic expression and polynomial expressions are same thing. Algebraic expression and polynomial is the other name for this, polynomial. Okay. Now if I have like x square plus y, this is also a polynomial as well as it is also called as algebraic expression. Now here I have introduced one new term, something raised power y square. Now how do we multiply? This means what? X multiplied with x So x multiplied by with x will be always equal to s. If it is written x into x into x, that means x cube. So I hope all of you know powers how to multiply, because exponent chapters, I hope all of you must have studied in class 6. So here no need to say powers or powers of variables and constants. So I hope you all must be familiar with this. Actually, I wanted to say that you all must be familiar with this. Now, after this, we have one more thing I have to explain. Now, I have to tell you that if I have x by 5, so this will be called as terms. Okay. If I have y by 9 or xy upon 3 or 5 upon 3, all these are called as terms. But if I have x upon y, z upon x, 99 by y, if these type of terms I have, if these type of symbols we are having, then these all will not be called as terms. Why? Because the variable is having a negative power. A variable is having a negative power. A variable is having a negative power. A constant is not having a negative power here, right? So, if the terms or the symbols, if the symbols, if the variables have negative or negative powers, then that symbol will not be called as terms. For an example, okay, I hope all of you understood. If any variable is in the denominator, so in a plain language, if any variable is in the denominator, then that particular symbol will not be considered as terms. If I have written like this, 99 y raised power minus 1, that means indirectly I have written 99 upon y. So this will not be called as term. This will not be called as terms. Now with this help only, I will be explaining you one more point for algebraic expression and polynomial expression. Now in your book, you may be asked to identify the polynomials. Now if I have x plus y plus z cube y, and this is y, this is zp. Okay, so this is called as polynomial. Polynomial and algebraic expression, same thing, because here see all are one terms, there is no negative powers of variables. If I add 5, if I add like 5z also, then also it will be called as polynomial. But if I write like pz power minus 1 plus yx xy plus z cube y or 5z, like this is term, this is a term, this is a term, right? No problem, no doubt. But because of this negative here, because of this one value, this will not be, this whole set will not be polynomial, will not be called as polynomial, not a polynomial, not a polynomial. This will never be called as polynomial because of one particular, this is one fish which is dirtying the entire pond. Okay, suppose this is a pond and these are the different varieties of fish. Because of this fish, the entire pond is dirty. No one is going to take the help of this pond. No one is going to use this pond. That is like, it is like in the same way this algebra, because of this value, no one is going to say that this is a polynomial. It has become dirty now. Now this is a polynomial. It is a fresh pond. You can take in whatever you want from here, right? From here, if you want to take, you cannot take out because of this dirty polynomial. 30 terms because of z raised power minus 1. I hope it is clear. Now I will be discussing question number 1. Now before we start the numerical problems of this exercise, one more thing you have to remember, some of the information that I will be giving. Whenever you see in word problem lighter, L-I-G-H-T-E-R, lighter, that means you have to replace this lighter with negative symbol. If it is heavy, heavy or heavier, and this is light or lighter. Negative. For heavy, heavier, plus. More. More means plus. Less, plus. Small. Small means negative. Large, plus. East, you can take it as negative. West, you can take it as positive. If you want, you can take this also positive, this also negative, but your answer will not change, my dear students. It depends on, this is just a conventions. If you want to take east as positive, you take. West, you have to take negative. Opposite things you have to take opposite to each other. If someone is going towards east, then you may take he is going positive side of certain thing. If someone is going towards west, then you will say someone is going negative side. Plus, suppose I walked 5 meters towards east, then I will write, you will say plus 5 meters. If I walk towards 5 meters towards west, then you will say minus 5 meters. Zero will be our reference point. So I hope all these things you may be knowing. Now I have to discuss question number 1, right? Question number 1 says we have to frame the equation. Question number 1 says that verbal expression is given. Some verbal expression means frame equation is given. Sentences are given. We have to frame the expression. Sum of a plus 10. Sub part 1. Sum means what? Plus. Again you can write. Sum means plus. Minus means minus only. Now, sum of a and 10. That means a plus 10. Second one they are saying 2/3 of x. 2/3 means 2 by 3 of x. This means 2 by 3 into x or 2x by 3. Now third terms we are having quotient of y divided by 10. Now when you have y divided by 10, then the quotient will come. So y by 10. Question number 2, you see, like this you have to just write only this much, my dear student. These all are framing. This all will help you to frame the expressions, algebraic expressions in this class as well as in higher class. So right now they are just giving you small questions so that you all will be able to understand and practice. Now question number 2, verbal expression into algebraic expression. 5 more than twice the number. Okay, 5 more than twice the number. So let the number be x. If it was, I think I have missed some certain thing, maybe x or p may be given there. So twice. 5 more than twice the number. Twice the number means 2x. More means plus. How much more? 5. So this is like this. We have to solve. 5 more than twice the number. Number was x multiplied by 2. So twice x. More how much? More means plus. How much? 5. Now second one, you see, they have given 25 subtracted from thrice the number p. Thrice the number p means 3p. Subtracted means minus. How much? 30. 25. 25 is subtracted. So I will write 25. 3p minus 25. Now difference of a and 15 divided by 3. Third number is difference of a and 15. So a minus 15 divided by 3. Difference of a and 15 is a minus 15 divided by 3. So you have to divide by 3. Now question number 3. Question number 3 says 50 centimeter shorter than 1 centimeter. 50 centimeter shorter than 1 centimeter. So how much it will come? 50 centimeter shorter than 1 centimeter. So it will be 50 minus 1 centimeter. 50 centimeter minus 1 centimeter. 50 centimeter shorter than 1 centimeter. Okay. Now you can go for 5 rupees 5 more than t. So t plus rupees 5. Now in the same way, question number 4 we are having consecutive. Okay, I have to discuss consecutive numbers, and then from question number 4 onwards, 5 and 6 you all can solve. So question number 4 only I have to discuss right now for this video lecture. Consecutive numbers. Okay, what is consecutive number? Let us first understand consecutive numbers, then we will understand consecutive odd numbers, even numbers, then integers and all those things. Consecutive numbers. Number after number are said to be consecutive numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these numbers are called as consecutive numbers. Now what are the consecutive numbers? Numbers after numbers having certain pattern here. What is the pattern here? 2 minus minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 2 1, 4 minus 3 1, 5 minus 4 1, 1 1. Everywhere common difference is equal to 1. Common difference is 1. So these numbers are called as consecutive numbers. Now what did you observe in case of natural number? If one number is 1, then the second number is first number. First number is 1. So second number is 1 plus 1. Third number is 1 plus 1 plus 1. Can you see? 1, then 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 1 plus 3. Now fourth number 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and so on. It will continue. If I take first number, if I assume first number is equal to x, if I assume first number to be x, then my next number, that means second number, will be x plus 1, like this. Third number will be x plus 1 plus 1. Yes or no? X plus 1 plus 1. Now fourth number will be x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Correct? Now you simplify this. It is x. It is x plus 1. It is x plus 2. It is x plus 3. Understood? So what did you observe in case of consecutive numbers? If you have to assume any number, then you assume that particular number, let the number be x. Then the next consecutive integer will be equal to x plus 1. Then the next consecutive integer will be equal to x plus 2. Then the next consecutive number will be x plus 4, and so on. It will continue. Now if you have consecutive odd numbers. Now odd numbers, I hope all of you know. It is like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. Now see the common difference. Common difference is equal to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now if I write in terms of expression in this form, then I will write first number is equal to x, second number is equal to x plus 2, third number is equal to x plus 4. It is going on increasing. 2 I have to add. Here I was adding 1 1. Here 0. Here plus 1. Here plus 2. Here plus 3. So here it will be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is the consecutive odd number. Same is the case with even numbers also, because it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Difference is 2, 2, 2. So same case. So in case of consecutive odd numbers and even numbers, we take the numbers as x, x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 6, and so on. If say multiple of 3, then the first number will be x, second number will be x plus 3, third number will be x plus 6, 3 and 3 you have to add. So these are the cases, these are the ways we write consecutive numbers. I hope it is clear, my dear students. For every particular set of patterns, for any value, consecutive numbers can be written depending upon according to the situations and conditions given in your problems. I hope you all must have understood whatever I taught you. Now the only task is left from your side is to go through this exercise, watch this video once again, once, twice, to make it clear, to understand each and every point, and then practice the numerical problems. Thank you.